For this self-knowledge or self-awareness, there is no need for another knowledge or another support. Next, Swamiji talked about the doctrine of negation. The secret of Vedanta is that we attain the attained Atma by the method called Neti Neti, which is the method of negation. All the experiences are negated and we realize the experiencer. Neti Neti comes in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. This is the ultimate intellectual practice that a seeker can do. This is explained in the 30th Sloka. Atma can only be attained by negation of anatma. What is left behind? There is the negator, experiencer. This is the neti neti prakriya. Then the pure consciousness is experienced as self-awareness. When a thought appears in the mind, it is connected to an object and you experience that object. You are the experiencer, experiencing the object, objectify everything which you experience, including the mind, intellect, body, experiences. Even the Vedantic thoughts objectify it. Then, through Neti Neti Prakriya, dissociate with everything and meditate on the experiencer or Atma. This is the highest meditation in Vedanta philosophy. Swamiji advised to practice this method. Slowly, the negation prakriya also disappears, and what remains is only the awareness, omnipresent Atma. There is no individuality as Jivatma. There is Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam. In Neti Neti Prakriya, there is no object of meditation in the form of a form or an attribute or the Vedantic thoughts. You, as an experiencer, are negating everything, including your body, mind, sense object. In the end, only you are there, the experience with the awareness principle. You cannot negate your existence. It is the Sat and the awareness of you, your existence, the consciousness is the Chit. Only the experiencer is there, without the experience. It cannot be called normal meditation. This is the last and the final teaching. The 31st Sloka continues to explain that the body-mind complex up to its causal body or objects only perceived and perishable like the bubbles, kshanika, short-lived. As the bubbles are short-lived, so also this body-mind complex. Again, through Neti Neti Prakriya, discriminate and disidentify with them and know yourself as omniscient Brahman, which is all-pervading like space, unlimited. If Atma is all-pervading, why is it that we do not have that experience of omnipresent? Identified with the body-mind upadhi, one feels limited. With this limited condition, omniscience cannot be experienced. By Neti Neti practice, negate the conditionings, go beyond all the conditionings and limitation to experience the omniscient state of Brahman. In the 32nd Shloka, talks about awareness with the oneness with the Brahman. Physical body takes birth and goes through 6 modifications. It is the Prakriti, inert. Its ability to function is because of the sentiency received from the Atma. These are the instruments. Atma is not the operator, but illuminator in whose presence the instruments operate. Atma is Satyam and the body is Mithya. In the practice of meditation, Swamiji explained, suppose you hear a sound. Say hearing process is happening. Eardrums and brain are doing their job. I, the Atma, do not play any role. You are mere hearer, awareness principle, without doing any action. I am that absolute principle, unattached. I am the Sakshi Chaitanya. In the end, Swamiji advised and warns that Shankara has a deeper hidden message for us to pick up and contemplate in every shoka. In my knitting language, do not knit blindly. Pick up the dropped stitches and knit for a perfect result. Hari Om. Thank you, Swamiji. Over to Swamiji now.
Hari Om. Thank you, Hemaji. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krito Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murtibheta Vibhagini Yomavadvyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Tapopiksheణ papanam shantanam vetaraginam mumukshunamapekshyoyam Atmabodho bhidhiyate. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Namo Narayana to all. Hari Om.
Alo. Alo. Merhaba. Teşekkür ederim.
So we were discussing about how this individual existence can experience oneness with Brahman. So there are many methods to contemplate on this concept. So we have already discussed many of them, but still we are continuing with this. So in the next verse, after taking sthula sarira in last sloka, this sloka is with sukshma sarira, in which your mind is most important. So when we talk about sukshma sarira, mostly we don't identify. The reason is the sukshma sarira is always one with the body. When body is in action, we are completely carried away with the actions and activities of body. So there is no separate identification of sukshma sarira as such. So in this process of contemplation, what we do is we try to separate sthula sharira and sukshma sharira, so that when we do meditation, the activities of sthula sharira do not disturb us. So this is an important point when we practice this meditation. And now, when we do something, first the thought comes to the mind. Mind, as we know, mind is a bundle of thoughts. So one after another it comes, and accordingly we act. Now when I say I am thinking, I think, or I desire, then I act. So this I, which is desiring, this I, which is preparing for an action, is purely mind. But one thing we have to remember, in Vedanta, when we talk about mind, or the mind which is producing thoughts in action, that mind is reflected mind or reflected consciousness. So therefore, this identification with mind is very, very deep. It's like we can say this is very strong, that we are unable to separate. So this makes all the problems, because when mind is dull, I think I am dull. When mind is active, mind is desirous, I think I am desirous. And mind, when mind has some any emotions, I am identifying with that. The mind has grief, I think I am suffering. Now, here, this separation, actually, this connection is inherent. Therefore, there is no way to separate in our normal life. But there is no other way but to separate this subtle body and the physical body. So regarding that, now what the Shastra says, we see the next sloka, amanastvad me dukha raga dvesha bhayadayah. Aprano hyamana shubhra ityadi shruti shasanat. It says amanastvad name dukha raga dvesha bhayadayah. So I suffer with grief, sorrow. I say I suffer, I suffer, I suffer. And who is suffering? We never think. The mind is bringing the subject for suffering, and I identify with that subject, then I say I suffer. It's no, you can see this is very clear in this sense. If that particular object with which you are getting the sorrow, with which you are suffering, is not there in the mind, it has not come into your mind, then what would happen? Then there is no reason for suffering. And normally what you do know, you sit quietly, just free without any action. No, you may be tired with physical actions, and we sit there and think on and on, bring different subjects to your mind. And when you put on the mind, and mind is bringing thoughts one after another, memories one after another, and in between one memory, one thought will come with an object of suffering. So immediately your mood would change. The mind changed, body changed. So till now you are enjoying sitting calmly there, relaxing, but immediately mind brings an object of suffering, that memory brings that suffering. So it's based on mind's action. So therefore, dukha, that's what we call dukha. And then raga, the attachment. I say I am attached to my friend, I am attached to my family, I am attached to my this and that, it and it. Oh, we have so many things for attachments. So raga is there. And now when the attachment comes, you have some sort of some happiness. You are interested in that subject, because the attachment itself says you are attached, you are connected. So it is still there. Actually, the object of pain is also connected, and the object of enjoyment is also connected. Both are connected in the mind only. But raga especially means you are attached to something which gives you some sort of relief. No? You feel that you are secure, you feel that I have a friend. No, people are worried about their friends. If they don't have friends, they think, oh, I am good for nothing. So nobody is loving me. I have no friends. Nobody is attracted to me. So this sort of feeling, the isolated feeling. So therefore, people want to be attached with many things or many people. So this attachment also is happening in mind, because all these conditions are brought by mind only. There is no other element, because once you are attached to one person, he or she was your friend for some time, but after some time, the friendship changed into enmity. Now, who changes this? The matter is the same. The physiologically, the person is the same, but there is psychological change. You changed your mind, or your friend changed his mind. That's all. So therefore, this is also because of mind. So there is dukha and then come raga. Now, your practice can be here when you sit for contemplation. Now, make a note or list of these things. From today, you can do this contemplation. So when you sit, relax, and try to contemplate on this, how many thoughts, how many objects mind is bringing with grief. So make a list of them. And the second list can be how many objects are there for attachment, with attachment. So, which I love. So make two lists. You will find your whole mind is built with these two things. There is nothing else. There is no space, no room for anything else. So something is good, something is bad, something is painful, and something is joyful. No, all this. So when we make this, we can find that with each of this object, mind has two different emotions connected to this. The object of grief will be dvesha, hatred. So you hate to that object. You don't want that object. You try to avoid that. Now you know how much energy you are wasting to avoid such objects from your mind. This avoidance is a very tough task that you are trying to do. Now in every moment, you are trying to remove things from your mind. It's a energy consuming action. And the other thing also you can see, that objects with attachment, you always try to think about that. You love to repeat those thoughts. So people who help you to bring those thoughts, you think they are also my friends, and they are doing good to me, because they are trying to they are helping you to bring good thoughts, no, lovely thoughts in your mind. Okay, so then you get some energy. No, the first one, you are losing energy because of negativity, and here you are getting energy. So then brain is activated, and then you feel good. The neurons of brain is blasting when you get good thoughts, positive thoughts, new thoughts. So this is the activity of mind. Now, who is doing this? That's the meditation here. That is the point we want to know from this Shruti. All these actions and reactions are in mind and by mind and with mind. There is nothing else. So, dukha, raga, dvesha, and bhaya, The other list can be about fears. No. Did you ever list your fears? How many fears you have? You have any idea? Huh? No. So immediately make a list of fears, because this is very important. If you have so many fears, so what are they? So first, second, third, no. First fear, maybe fear of death. From that, you can list many fears. So what we do, what happened to the mind? Mind brings some grief, and then attachment in between, or some we say good thoughts, positive thoughts, happy thoughts. Then after that, immediately the fear comes. And then what happened? The happy thoughts disappear, fear thoughts appear, then you may leave the place and you may do anything. And immediately you can see again the grief, even pain and sorrow and depression, and all those appears in the mind. So one after another. So list of this, make list of these fears and count them every day. How many fears I have? Now, how can I overcome from these fears? So how can I overcome these fears with my knowledge, with my good thoughts? Because I don't want to keep all these fears. So dukha, raga, dvesha, and bhaya. He says, adayaha is not only these, but there are so many others, other kind of things. And sometimes compassion, sometimes love. There are so many things, detachments. So dukha, raga, dvesha, bhayadayaha, jealousy, all this. So once you list all this, you know these things are happening in mind only. I can see these actions in mind. What does it mean? If I can see any action as an object, then I am the seer. I am the observer. I am not that anyhow. So it says, amanastvad name dukha raga dvesha bhayadaya. I am not this mind. Amanastvat. Because I am seeing this mind. Mind is another substance. I am the observer of mind. Hence, mind is not me. Amanastvat name dukha raga dvesha bhayatayaha. So, this is very clear that the mind is bringing all this action. When I am connected to those actions, I am with that, I am suffering, I am enjoying. But if I list all those thoughts and objects which are there in mind in these categories, dukha category, raga category, dvesha and bhaya, and other, we can enumerate many more. If these are there in the mind, it means I am seeing those. If I am the seer, how can I be one with the mind? Because seer is seer always. Seer never be seen. So therefore, obviously, I am separate from all those this. Now, Bhagavad Pada Shankaracharya ji is quoting a Shruti here. Aprano Yamana Shubhraha Ityadi Sudhishasanat. He is giving a proof of this, what he said. He says, even Shruti, Vedas say this. We have a Muntaka Upanishad from Atharva Veda. So it says, Aprano Hyamana Shubhraha Ityadi Sudhishasana. The scripture states that this Atma is aprana, without prana, not prana, aprana. There is no pranas in Atma. Prana, pana, vyana, utana, samana is not there. The pranic activities are different from Atma. We already know by pranamaya kosha. Annamaya kosha and pranamaya kosha. Although prana seems to be the main source of energy, the vital force behind our life-saving energy is from prana only. But prana is not Atma. Apranaha. Amanaha. So, no, without mind. So, amanaha. It's not mind. Mind is also not Atma. Shubhraha. Pure, immaculate. So there is no thoughts. If there is no thought, then the Atma is pure. Thoughts, the mind makes all these impurities. The self is always pure because these thoughts are not actually there in self. This is only a superficial change is attributed to Atma. Atma is totally pure. Now, how we experience this, that is important. So for that, I have suggested this meditation of listing out dukha, raga, dvesha, bhaya, and all these emotions. Now, if you list out all this and daily calculate how many are there today, how many good thoughts are there, how many bad thoughts are there, then you will see the clarity and then can slowly come out of this duality of these thoughts. So there will be a complete balance of mind. You will slowly detach yourself from these thoughts. So that is the meditation. The same meditation is continued in all these slokas. I think till 27th sloka, we will continue the same meditation of this detachment. So again, the seeker can ask, if there is no mind, there is no thought, what is left? There is nothing to experience. If there is no thought, what we experience? You are always saying about experiences without thought. If there is no thought, what would be there to experience? So this is answered in the next sloka. Nirguna Nishkriya Nitya Nirvikalpa Niranjana Nirvikaro Nirakaro Nityamuktosmi Nirmala. How you see how beautiful this sloka is. Everywhere this ni is there in each word. Nirguno, Nishkriyo, Nityo, Nirvikalpo, Niranjana, Nirvikaro, Nirakaro, Nityamuktosmi, Nirmala. So many knees. So it's a beauty of, again, it's a beauty of Sanskrit. And our author of this textbook, Bhagavat-pada Shankaracharya, is a very famous poet in our culture, because he had composed many beautiful poems. So he has that poetry. He is a philosopher and a poet, and as a devotee, and he has composed many devotional songs. We say stutis, stotrams. So he had this talent of bringing such words together for beautiful compositions. So now, if mind is not there, what is there? It says, if mind is not there, you don't feel your absence. We never feel our absence. So what is not absent, that is my nature, which is unaffected by time, space, and causality, which is untouched by all these attributions. Pure awareness, mere awareness, awareness alone. There is only the I-ness left. There is no I am this, I am that. In that state, I am not a human being. In that stage of experience, I am not a man, I am not a woman, no. All these gunas, all these attributions or qualities, properties are not there in me. So Nirguna, qualityless. All these qualities are attributed on me. I am without qualities. We have basically three qualities: sattva, rajas, tama. We know this. These are the three forms of prakriti, maya. So I am without these qualities. Therefore, there is no chance of any action. If these qualities are there, the action must be there. If there is action, it means any of this quality is working. Okay, so I am Nirguna. I am qualityless, so the attributeless. So there is no form for me. There is no shape. Only the experience of awareness as consciousness is there. And consciousness cannot be shaped. Awareness cannot be shaped. Only the object of awareness, what we see as an object, like book, pot, all these objects outside, they have shapes, they have form. But the awareness has no shape. Like the light of sun has no shape. Perhaps light has no shape, therefore we could see shapes in light. If light had any shape, we could not see any object outside, because the shape of the light will block the object. So if there is no shape in light, then light is shaped by object. So the form what we see because of that object. So the light is shaped according to the object. So therefore, it is said here, Nirguna, all the qualities are negated. Because all those qualities we know are superimposed on Atma, Adhyastha. And Nishkriya, if qualities are not there, you may see, oh, there may be some activities with action we can discriminate things. But in Atma, there is no action. Nishkriya. If there is no guna, there is no action. Nitya, Nitya, eternal, eternal by nature. It is eternal by consciousness, its own nature. It is eternal because it is unaffected by time. It is eternal because it is untouched by space. It is eternal because it has no cause-effect relation. Nothing is produced from that, and nothing is there in that. Therefore, it is eternal. And it is eternal because it is not growing and not decaying. And it is eternal because it has no change, no process of change. So it is beyond time, space, causality, relativity, comparison. It is beyond all those. Therefore, it is eternal. And eternal, what is eternal will be all-pervading. It must be all-pervading. Otherwise, if it is limited only in one space, not in another space. It cannot be eternal. Therefore, eternal means all this. Nirvikalpa. Nirvikalpa. Vikalpa means changes. The changes which happen in matter. The matter has changes. So those changes are called in one word vikalpas. So change can be good or bad, desirable, undesirable, and in physically or mentally, in any form, whatever, the change is not there in Atma. The Nirvikalpa. Why there is no change in Atma? Because all these changes are happening in mind, intellect, ego, body, equipment. Mind, intellect, ego, body, equipment, what we call as body complex, where there is change. There is change always, constantly changing, and you cannot stop that. There is no stoppage for this. You have to accept and leave it for that. So in that change, actually, there is no good and bad. The change is a process and progress. If you think that is good, that's good. If you think that's bad, that's bad. Like from the body of child, the body changes into teenage body, and it changes into youth. The shape and everything changes. And you think that the body of youth is good because all the activities are complete there, full activities. So all the indriyas, sense organs, mind, everything works very efficient, very attractive. Therefore, you like it. But again, the growing process is continuing and bound to continue. It will grow to old age. Slowly it will grow and fall into old age. And then you think, oh no, it's very sorry. It was that youth in my, that age was very good. And now I am grown into old age. That is not good. But it's impossible. It's bound to happen. Therefore, all these changes are the properties, the parts of body-mind complex. Atma is not partaking in this change. Okay, there is no change in Atma. Therefore, Atma is Nirvikalpa. If there is no change, there is no reason why Atma gets some impurities, some stains or some impure things. Therefore, there is no chance. Niranjana. So there is no stains in Atma. Atma is ever pure. Niranjana. By this Niranjana, Anjana means which is a cover for anything. Like a color is a cover for, you color your walls, and no, it's like a cover, no, it's caught, so you cover it. So there is no cover. It means there is no ignorance in Atma. All these are happening because of ignorance in Atma. So Niranjana, Atma is ever pure. Like you experience in your deep sleep, the purity of Atma, the bliss of Atma. Nirvikara. Vikara. Vikara already we discussed. There's this change, some manifestation, external or internal. So there is no external or internal change in Atma. External changes are there in physical body, and internal changes are there in mind, intellect, but there is no change in innermost soul, innermost self, Atma. So Nirvikara, Niragara, without a form. Akara means form, shape. So we already discussed this. There is no chance for any form in Atma. Atma is like sunlight, the clear sunlight. Nityamukta, ever-liberated. Nityamukta, always liberated. So now we feel we are in bondage. We are not liberated. Actually, that is wrong understanding. This is again superimposition or on ourselves, that we think we are in bondage, we are in this body, we are in this mind, this is my body, this is my mind, this is my intellect, this is my home, this is my vehicle, this is my parents, this is my family. So all this minus is a bondage, because this is what is bounding, connecting you, all this. So now, in this world, where we live, this empirical world, we have all these connections. There are connections. We don't deny these connections. There are connections. We need connections. But these connections are not there in ourself, Atma. These connections are, when we connect with people, it's because of this situation where we live, because we need people around us, we connect with them. So there is no actual connection with the self. So therefore, self is always liberated from this, unaffected with this. Therefore, you could sleep. You think when you sleep, there are any connections you see? No connections. So if anybody is connected with yourself, then that person will appear there in your sleep. Then you cannot sleep. Then what you say, I don't want connection of this person who is disturbing my sleep. So that is why before that, Atma removes all these connection, because you don't want any connection in your If anybody is coming, appearing there, you say, no, no, let it be there. Let that person sleep outside of my mind. I don't want any connection in my sleep because I want to sleep free. You know what you think? What is the reality? Actually, there is no connection. Therefore, that's the truth. Because people do not accept this reality. They try to say, you are always there with me and all those they say, but in reality is not there. It cannot be. So therefore, Nityamukta. If we realize this, then that is the mukti. Nityamuktosmi. I am ever liberated. So chant this mantra always. Before sleep, Nityamuktosmi, Nityamuktosmi, all this sloka, Nirgunosmi, Nishkriyosmi, Nityo, Nirvikalpo, Niranjana, Nirvikaro, Nirakaro, Nityamuktosmi, Nirmala. I am ever pure. Nirmala means there is no contaminations in me. There is no modifications. There is no thought, nothing. So chant this mantra, chant this sloka every day before bed for 3 times, and after bed, after you wake up for 3 times, and remember the meaning of this sloka. Then I assure you, I guarantee you, you will not have any pain, any problem in your life. This is guaranteed by this Vedanta. You try and see. Every day before bed, 3 times chant this and remember the meaning, because you don't know Sanskrit, therefore you have to remember the meaning of each word. And you can write down the meaning and meditate on that. 3 times and go to sleep. And when you come out of sleep, immediately the first thing you have to do is chant this mantra for 3 times and remember that I am Nityamuktosmi Nirmalaha. I am liberated from all this. I don't have all these problems. No problems comes to me. I am ever free because I was free in my sleep. I was alone there. Nobody was there. Now, what is there? Only me and me and me. There is no other person. So remember this. It's a wonderful thing. No, it can do wonders if you practice this for maybe for 21 days. Then it become a regular practice, because 21 days is a time when you repeat something, it goes to your subconscious mind. Okay. So 21 days mean 21 nights, before bed, after bed. That's important points where mind shifts from gross body to subtle body. That is the place before sleep and after sleep. Okay, so this is what is the experience beyond mind. Apranohi amana shubhraha aksharat paradaparaha. Now, beyond all this, you experience a vast space, akasha, which has no beginning, no end. Ahamakashavat sarvam bahirandargadochyutah. Ahamakashavat sarvam bahirandargadochyutah. Sada sarva samashuddho nisango nirmalo chalaha. Again, that is explained in another way. Aham akashavad sarvam bahir andargataha achyutaha. So that me, which has no gunas, nirgunaha, niranjanaha, nishkriyaha, nityaha. So that is me. So that me is akashavat. Ham akashavat, like space, completely free of actions. There is no changes in space. There is no in and out in space. Space is everywhere. So there is no up and downs in space. There is no beginning and end in space. So akashavat. And in space you cannot locate. There is no location in space. So now you are not located anywhere. Now if I ask you, you will send your Google map as my location. This is my location. No, we sent Google map. So the location is for body. The body is located in space, but for space there is no location because space is everywhere. So aham akashavat sarvam. So these are all pervading akasha. The pervading in and out. Akasha is all pervading. It means in and out. Akasha is there. All things. Akasha bahirandargataha. Within and without. Achyutaha. Achyutaha. Chuti means some change. Even tiny change is called chuti. Very little change. Even that is not there in Atma. So there is no chance for change. Atma is not fit for change. No achyutaha. So there is no change. Sada sarva samashuddhaha. Sada always sarva samaha. Same to everything. Sarvesham samaha sarva samaha. Same to everything as their innermost existence. Now, how Atma is sarvasama? Atma is sarvasama as the gold for ornaments. Atma is sarvasama as the clay for pot and other vessels. Atma is sarvasama as the space for all other objects, matters. So as their innermost existence, that is Atma. So when you see that innermost existence, you see Sarva Samatva. It means all sameness. It means there is no comparison of anything. There is no relation. There is no causality. There is no relativity. So that is the sama. Samatvam yoga yuchyate. It is said in Gita also. So the Brahma is called samaha because it is all like all pervading and all sameness. It means you cannot say there is less Atma in you and there is more Atma in God. You cannot say there is less Atma in bacteria, no, small beings, and there is more Atma, bigger Atma in elephants or dinosaurs. Oh, you cannot say that. So there is no comparison for us. Atma is same everywhere. The creator of world has the same Atma, and you and all other beings have the same Atma. The Atma is indweller of all beings with same degree of quality and quantity. Remember this. Atma is the indweller of all beings with the same degree and same quality and same quantity as their innermost existence. So the innermost existence has no degree of comparison. It is same with the quality, the same quality of Atma. In human being, better Atma, in another animals, a little, no. Bad Atma, no. The same Atma with the same quality and same quantity. This is called Sarva Samaha. It's very difficult to understand this. Only when you think beyond this mind-body complex, you may get some glimpse of this understanding, how it's possible. This is the sameness. The sameness is also called Atma. Like oneness is also called Atma. All-pervading is Atma. And sameness is also Atma. We always compare with others. If somebody says something, before listening to those words, what we think, oh, he's or he's not good. No, he's not good. I am better. That what he is speaking is not right. I have a better understanding. So this sort of comparison is like no, it is there in our system. Our mind works with that. So this comparison makes all the problems. If you can get rid of this comparison disease, then you have a better understanding. You have a better feeling with others. So you can love others, respect others. And you can also get love and respect from others. So keep trying to reduce this comparison and ultimately get rid of this comparison, because the Atma is Sarva Samaha. Atma has no comparison. There is no greed, caste. No, there is nothing that kind of changes in Atma. So now what else? It says Shuddha. Repeatedly it is said, Atma is ever pure. You cannot contaminate Atma. There is no chance that you can contaminate Atma. It's beyond that contaminations. The contamination cannot reach Atma. So the problem, let the problem be there in the body, let the problem be there in the mind. But please don't think that I have this problem. You don't have this problem. This mind and body have this problem. So Nisankaha, why Atma is ever pure? The reason is said, Nisankaha, because Atma is unconnected with all this. Atma cannot be connected. Sanka means connection. If something can be connected, if there is a chance for connecting one to another, then it can be unpure and it can be contaminated. We can say it is mixture of many things. Atma is nisankaha, asankaha. So its character is like that. So nisankaha, unattached. Therefore nirmalaha. So if there is no connection, you cannot connect anything to Atma, then Atma is, of course, Atma is free of all impurities. So nirmalaha. Mala means impurities. Achalaha, motionless. There is no movement in Atma. Body has movement, mind has movement, all those prana has movement, but Atma has no movement. Like space cannot move. You cannot think space moving. You cannot imagine even how space can be moved. Why? Because movement is possible only where there is no space. So space can move to that place where there is no space. So space cannot move in space. So there is no movement, so-called movement in space. Similarly, Atma has no movement because there is no place where Atma can move. Unless it is not superimposed or attributed by body and mind, all those things, objects. When you attribute all this, you can move Atma. Like you say, I am moving. I am moving. This I is Atma. So with this body you are moving. You say, I am moving. In that context, we can say Atma has movement. But if there is no body, there is no mind, there is no attribution, ubadhis, imposed attributions, then there is no movement. Therefore, Atma achalaha. So now, are you sitting? Yes, you say I am sitting. But in fact, in reality, you cannot sit. Who is sitting there and listening to this? Atma or somebody else? Very difficult to say. If you say there is no self doing this, so selflessly you are doing this. I cannot say that. But in reality, you are not sitting, you are not listening, you are not understanding, you are free of all this. Mind, body is doing all this. And those mind-body complex or whatever there, they make you think that you are doing. Then you feel I am doing. So this is what we call superimposition. Actually, mind, body is doing all this. And we feel that we are doing. Okay. This is the chalatvam. This is the, what we can say, movements, motion, actions. This is how we act. Otherwise, we are actionless, motionless. Therefore, achalaha sada sarva samashuddho disango nirmalo chalaha. These are the meditation techniques in Vedanta. Contemplate on this. Okay. So we will continue with the other shloka in next session. Hari Om. So over to you for questions. If any, please ask.
Yes, Om Namo Narayana. Pranamam Shri Swamiji. We just heard from you that we are Nirguna, right?
Yeah.
And
person is asking one question.
sorry.
Yeah. Continue.
Yes, may I continue? Yes, we just heard from you that Atma is Nirguna, right?
Yeah.
And there is no action. But this is the mind, body, and sense complex that is acting, that is doing the sansara vyavhara.
Yes.
Okay. So if Atma is Nitya Shuddha Buddha, then what is it doing in our body? Because
what is
it doing in our body? It makes us move, it makes us do action, it makes us think, it makes us move, it makes us to do karma, right? It is only because Atma is there. Because when a person is going to die, the Atma leaves the body, and then body cannot do anything. It's only because of Atma that we can do actions. And I don't know that there are three gunas, Sattva, Raja, and Tamas. Sattva guna is very sort of rare thing, but generally human beings have Raja guna. What I have learned, right? And Atma can only act through the body if it is operating the gunas.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So how can it be without action?
How can we say that Atma is without action? Since we are experiencing all these actions in body, mind, complex. That is what your question is.
Yes, Swamiji.
Yeah. So it's very simple that we are already discussed this, but for more clarification, I will take an example like water. Now you know water, that water has it as its guna, as its quality is water is always cool. Okay. Cool in the sense it has not produced, it cannot produce any heat. That is by nature is like that. If that water, when that water is in sunlight, It means water is outside. You kept some water in a bucket outside for some time in the presence of sunlight. So then what happened to that water? Water gets heated.
Oh.
Okay. So water gets some heat. Actually, after some times, it gets heated that you can wash your body. No, like that much heat it gets. Now we have this solar energy system. We have solar cookers. We have solar heaters and everything. Okay. So now here this idea is conveyed very clearly. Can we say that sunlight is doing some action to heat the water? Can we say this? Or we say in the presence of sunlight, in the existence of sunlight, the water is heated. Now what is right?
Yeah, that's right.
The first option or second option?
Both are right.
No, the second option is right as far the science is concerned. Because in the presence of light, when we keep water, the water is connected with the light. So the action is happening in water. The molecules are changing because the water molecules are very sensitive to heat. So therefore they get, wherever they get some heat, even you hold a glass full of water for some time with your hands, after some time it gets heated because it gets heat very easily. Therefore, in the presence of light, water gets heated. So we don't apply any action there because we don't say there is an action. That's what normally understand. Actually, when the water is connected with the sunlight, the sun rays are entering into the water molecules and then it gets heated. That's what is happening. Like in simple scientific way, we can explain it. Similarly, now water has a different character by nature. What is that character? Water is cool. And when you keep away water from sunlight for some time inside the room, it again gets cold. There is no heat in that. So it means by nature, water is cool, but in the presence of sunlight, water is heated, gets some heat. Similarly, mind and other complex, whatever we say as the modification or manifestation, as you said, it's very true. Mind, body, and all those has all this sattva, raja, tama, guna, all these are there. This is all we are, for the sake of understanding, we are giving all these explanations. What are the qualities, how the qualities are changing, and all this, like we do study in science. So we have so many explanations to give. Let it be there. But these are, as we know, this body or mind, all those, these are kept in the presence of consciousness, like in the presence of sunlight. So then they are connected to that because they have some quality like that. They can connect with consciousness or they can receive consciousness. The consciousness can be reflected in those objects, like sunlight can be reflected in water. So similarly, there some actions takes place in the presence of consciousness. So there is no action in consciousness. We don't say there is action or a consciousness is doing some action. There is action means we have to apply so many theories there. If there is action, there should be some potential state, and then it changed to another state, and then there are so many things we apply. So there is no. So this example we can take, or in like a space, because space has no such qualities that we can see and understand how space works. Therefore, we don't take the example of space, because it is like we can say quality less. Although it has a quality of sound, it means where there is space, their sound is produced. But that is not obvious in this way that we can understand for this sake of our study. So this is what we say this way, that in the presence of the actionless Atma's presence, all other activities take place. This is how we explain this. It means we don't say there is absence of Atma or consciousness. The presence is always there. When this body get that quality as the mind or prana or all this, then the actions are there. That's all. Okay.
So Swamiji, I have another question, a couple of more questions, with your permissions. May I ask you? We just heard from you that the Atma of Creator is same as our Atma. In other sense, we can say that Jivatma and Paramatma are one and the same thing. There is no difference in shape, size, or whatsoever, right? Though Atma doesn't have any shape, but it's for reference, I say. Atma doesn't have any shape. So, but I have a confusion, like Jivatma is restricted in ignorance, we can say, from mind, body, and sense complex, right? Paramatma is free. There is no restriction, there is no ignorance. But if Jivatma and Paramatma are one and the same thing, there is no difference in Jivatma and Paramatma, then can Jivatma, Paramatma has created the Brahmanda, that has created the galaxies, that has created the samsara. Can Jivatma do so? Please explain.
No, the reason is, when we say Jivatma, as you said, it is delimited with the mind, body, sense awareness. Therefore, we call it Jivatma. And this special ability that Jivatma has because of these attributions. Okay. For example, in Jivatma also we have different bodies, like human body, other animals' bodies, cow's body, buffalo's body, or monkey's body, or bee's body, any body you take. Each body has different qualities. Biologically, they have different functions. Their DNA is different, their inner organs are different, and brain functions are different. As you know, yes, everything is different. And as you know that energy is from same source. We are getting from the same source. We are getting oxygen from the air outside, and all other animals also getting oxygen from outside, sunlight, energy, vitamins, and all this. The energy source and maybe the food source is also same. But after getting this energy, after getting these foods, vitamins, each body produces different brains, different actions, different bloods. Right? Now, how it is possible? How it is happening? Because of different mechanism, different missions. This physical body is different mechanism, and the animal body is different mechanism. altogether different. Although the energy source is the same energy is collected and produced and reproduced, but the actions are different. So this is what we call as upadhi bheda. The difference because of upadhis, attributions, the supportive mechanisms. So you have different animals, different species all over this creation. Okay, so this is how. Now you imagine the creator. Creator has some special ability. Like a human being, we have special brain. So just imagine that the creator has also some very, very special intelligence that we call as Hiranyagarbha. We call, or otherwise we can call as Maya Upadhi, because we say that creator has this Maya Upadhi. Maya means the collective intellect, collective mind, and collective qualities of all the bodies and karmas. So all this collective form is called Maya. Maya is not different from all this. So collective intellect, collective that we call Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti, and all these Shaktis. And the energy, of course, the universal energy. So that is there. So these become upadhi for the creator of the world. Therefore, all the galaxies, all what we think and what we are unable to think, thinkable and unthinkable, all are created by this. We call Vyakta and Avyakta. So thinkable and manifested and unmanifested. There are so many things that we are unable to even imagine now. So those are all created by this complex, the universal upadhis. So this is the difference. Only this is the difference. If you separate this difference, there is no difference. That is what we discussed now. If you separate all these upadhis, all these bodies, physical bodies, then you can't say those are animals, we are human beings, and this is that, you cannot say. Okay, so the creator is called Maya Upadhi, and these human beings or the jivas are called Antakarana Upadhi. This is the technical term we use in Vedanta. Okay.
Okay, sir. Please allow me to ask one. Please allow me to ask one more question, please, in a short. We just learned that Atma is achala. It does not move. Yeah, body correct. Moves, but Atma doesn't move. Yeah. But how do birth and deaths take place? Because I have heard that when a person dies, Atma moves out of the body. And when a baby is or an infant is about to be born, Atma comes in his body or her body. So how, if Atma is achala, how does it move in and out of the bodies? Please explain.
Yeah, that is very again, if you understand this idea of physical body and mental body, and the separation of physical body and separation of subtle body, what we call a subtle body. We have discussed this in very detail in Atma Bodha. If you have not heard of Atma Bodha, once you can go to YouTube. Our classes are still there. If you want go through those classes, you will get a clear idea how this birth and death happens. Okay.
Okay, Swamiji.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hari Om. Thank you, Hari Om. So we conclude here.
Guruji, can we have the link of Atma Bodha?
Yeah, we will be posting. Yeah, somebody does, any of admin will post the Atma Bodha classes link. Yeah.
Okay, Hari Om.
Done. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Namo Narayana. Yeah, tomorrow is Shankaracharya's birthday, Adi Shankara Jayanti. So we wish you all with let our Acharya give you knowledge and realization in this birth, because he was the producer and reformer of all this knowledge from Vedas. So tomorrow we celebrate his birthday as Shankara Jayanti. Okay? Hari Om.